Hello and welcome to today's webinar with Dalet. We are today presenting Keep Producing News Content No Matter What. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. We hope you and your family are doing well. My name is Karen Piscard and I am Senior Marketing Manager for EMEA and APAC at Dalet. And with me today I have Raoul, who just turned up on this video. Hello, Raoul.
Hello.
Thank you for presenting today. We were also supposed to have Vinh Truong, but unfortunately he will not be able to join us this morning, but he had made some excellent videos that Raoul is going to show us. Today Raoul will walk you through how to produce quality news fast at home, on the field and elsewhere with Dalet's fully integrated news production and delivery solution. The webinar will take about 30 minutes, and in the end we will have a Q&A session, so don't hesitate to write your questions in the Q&A panel at the bottom of your screen. If you miss anything, don't worry, we will send you a recording very shortly. And with that, I'm giving the microphone open to Raoul.
Thank you, Karen, and welcome everyone. So today we are going to mostly demo some of the functionality of our product. We will see how we can address today's challenge of collaboration and mobility, and how the productivity tools that are inside Dalet. So it's mostly about demonstration this time and less slides. Hey, good news. So really, I mean, it's all incredible those last 4 months to see how this little thing of less than 10 nanometers is affecting totally the industry, the way we produce news. And the COVID has no friends, it has no enemy, and it certainly makes the news. And I'm sure that COVID had for you also a pretty strong impact on the way you produce news. Today we always ask people to produce more content faster, easier. It needs to be better content going to more platforms. But essentially, I think COVID has accelerated two trends that already started a while ago, which are really collaboration and mobility, being able to use your newsroom production, your newsroom solution from anywhere. So I'd like to illustrate some of the cool functionalities that we've got inside the Dalet system through a few slides, a combination between slides and videos actually. And I think so I've got 10 points, but of course we'll have a Q&A session to discuss more points at the end if you want to. So, I mean, Dalet Galaxy is what we call unified news operation, meaning that all the tools are there and also all the content is there. Okay, so you deal with video, you deal with audio, you deal with picture, you deal with wires, story, you deal with contacts, PDF documents, Word documents, many different kind of content, right? So many different tools to produce to cover the end-to-end workflows and many different kind of content. And the good thing about Dalet Galaxy is all accessible from the same system, from the same database, from the same content repository, and all the tools are there in a unique user interface. So that allows you to produce, radio news, TV news, digital news, but in different kind of modes, like breaking news workflows or your typical collaboration production, or in some cases also current affairs where you need, a stronger time spent on editing with solutions like Adobe Premiere or Avid Media Composer, and of course your end-to-end digital workflows.
The Galaxy platform allows you to manage videos, audios, images, of course, but also contact information, which you can later reference in your stories. Baseband and IP ingest feeds through the ingest manager timeline. You can crash record, schedule record, and also pattern record with automatic encoder assignment and ingest router control. Plan and grid for the assignment desk to document all stories covered by the newsroom. The planning grid follows and tracks all your stories that you want to cover, not only in your production control, but also on your digital and social platform. rundowns to cover your shows in your production control rooms and studios, interfacing with prompters, graphic system, and automation playout systems. You can also manage social posts that you can monitor, ingest, but also create and publish. From the same interface, you also have access to OneCut, our powerful proxy news editing tool, to efficiently create voiceover packages and soundbite. In this demo today, I will not describe in details the rich feature sets of each of those modules, but I just want to illustrate through some simple examples the type of advanced workflows that only our unified integrated news platform can provide. The first example is the integration between the assignment desk and the ingest manager timeline. For example, when a press conference is scheduled and documented by the assignment desk in our planning tool, the ingest operator in charge of recording that event can select the event from the planning grid and by the press of a button, quickly schedule the appropriate recording of that press conference through the ingest manager timeline. All the metadata and the information entered by the assignment desk will be associated to that recording automatically. So as an ingest manager, you don't have to always go back and forth between the planning grid and the ingest grid. And you don't have to make sure that all recordings are always scheduled correctly because the system can do that automatically for you. And we linked the event with the recording feed. Our reporters and producers can look at the planning area and easily preview the recording feed while it is being ingested. A second example is for the producers and the editors. Within the same interface, producers and editors can access their rundowns and scripts, of course, but they can also access OneCut, the nonlinear editors, to quickly create voiceover, packages, and SOTs without leaving the rundown or the script they are working on. When you're working on a story, you don't have time to go back and forth between your NPS interface and a separate NRCS interface. You want to do everything quickly and efficiently through the same interface. A third example is about breaking news situation. In those situations, producers have all the tools within the Galaxy client to quickly put the story on air. They can access the ingest of the breaking news feed, of course. They can cut, create graphics, and quickly post any content on social platforms, such as here, where I'm publishing with just a few clicks a package from my rundown directly to Twitter. As a producer, from the same interface, I can also have access to player ports through the courts to help my directors and technical directors in the production control room to quickly put breaking news live feed on air. Those three examples are just a small subset of all the workflows that we can easily put in place to enable fast-paced newsroom operations. I will cover more of them in the next demos.
Okay, great. So
the Galaxy.
Up, here we go. So we understand with several workflows that there are all kind of tools and all kind of content inside the Dalet Galaxy platform. And usually this really helps user to have full control over the story. And the second aspect is really the intuitive user interface and the mobility aspect. So we've got three types of clients, including Dalet on the go, which is a mobile application, Dalet Web Space, which is a web application that allows you to access your newsroom tools from anywhere. And even OneCut, our editor that works as well for audio and for video, brings you a unique remote editing experience wherever you are with a smart caching mechanisms. So you know, whatever piece of content you need from your central site in your timeline editing, you automatically down a proxy version of it. So if you even, you know, unplug your network cable, it's going to continue to work with a local editing experience. So that's really important to have, you know, some high performance tool while you're on the field. So let's take
Dalet Web Space is the Galaxy web interface used by our journalists to contribute and produce remotely from the field. It allows them to access the entire catalog to browse, search, preview, and edit content, including all the newsroom archive library. Any asset can be previewed through its proxies, and journalists can trigger powerful, detailed searches to easily locate assets. We can configure the fields being searched on. We can filter through facets, and the highlights on the right show us right away where our queried keywords have been found in the results. Through the interface, journalists can upload and download content. They can also short select content directly from WebSpace. I can very easily preview my content, mark in and mark out, and create multiple clips, either in the clip bin or directly on my timeline at the bottom. Note that the WebSpace preview window is frame accurate and allows me to even short select archive material through the proxy. In the back end, Galaxy will restore the high resolution from the archive, making it available for my editors to continue editing from the newsroom or from the field. Once the shot selection is done, I can reorganize my clips, download them locally if needed, or just save my sequence as an EDL to edit it later on with OneCut or Premiere. Just note that the Galaxy platform can track broadcast and usage rights and warn or prevent your users from using restricted or embargo content. Now that I have saved my EDL, I'm going to show you how I can edit that EDL from OneCut or from Premiere being on the field. OneCut is the Galaxy News Editor. It is available as an online, offline, or remote tool. It is a multi-tracks proxy editor with an extensive set of effects and transition to quickly and efficiently create your news voiceover, SOT, or packages. From the field, I can still browse my central catalog, preview my asset through the MPEG- proxy located in the cloud, open individual assets or pre-created shot selection. I am here working against the EDL that I have pre-created in WebSpace and loaded into OneCut. I can also import a local content such as P2 or XDCAM camera clips. Once I'm done, I can decide to save that OneCut EDL back into my Galaxy platform, or if I want to render this sequence using my local laptop, I can also trigger the rendering to happen centrally through the newsroom rendering form. If I want to do a more elaborate news package, I can use Premiere in the field as well. I can use the Galaxy Extend plugin, which is the Galaxy embedded plugin for Premiere, to browse the central newsroom catalog. I can import raw elements, EDL, video, audios, and images into my Premiere projects. As you can see, all the metadata from Galaxy are visible in Premiere. All the annotations I have in my system will be displayed as markers. I can add more markers if I want. Those markers will be sent automatically to Galaxy and will be indexed in search. Once I'm done with my sequence, I can save that Premiere project back into Galaxy, or I can also trigger the rendering of my sequence. The rendering can happen either locally or through a remote Adobe encoder form. When you use the Extend plugin, the Galaxy system tracks and saves the genealogy of your finished assets. So if you look at any video rendered by Adobe, you can see which raw materials and clips have been used. You can also see the Adobe Premiere project and sequences which were used to create that finished assets, so that later on you can easily go back if you want to create a new version of your new story.
Okay, great. So I think it's important we saw here, you know, different tools to edit videos. So very simple, like, you know, cut only editing tools, up to one cut, which is really a news type of editing tool, and down to Adobe Premiere, which is really a craft editor. So note that these workflows are also available for radio, and audio content. Okay, so we even integrate with Adobe Audition, for instance, same way as we integrate with Adobe Premiere. So
from the field, I can also access my newsroom through my mobile device. I can use On The Go, the Galaxy application for Android, iPhone, and iPad. I can check my assignment directly on my phone. I can edit also my scripts and preview any content for my media den. I can also easily search through my central catalog with simple keywords and preview any video, audio, and images. If needed, I can browse as well any Dalet categories from the Galaxy newsroom system. In this example here, I can go into the category called Watch Folder Ingest, where I can see all the content that has been uploaded by my colleagues into the central newsroom system. Any online or archive content can be previewed through the proxy, stored on my on-prem production storage or in the cloud. If needed, I can also trigger a restore of the high resolution directly from my phone. Through the plus button on top of the screen, I can contribute image, script, video, and audio directly from my phone and share that content with the news. The last on-the-go functionality I want to share with you is the preview of rundowns. From my phone or from my tablet, I can open the show rundown of any date, look at the slugs and blocks, as well as reading my scripts in a prompter mode. From the prompter mode, I can change the size of the font, as well as activate the auto-scrolling of my rundown.
Okay, I think we are done with this demo. So you see from On The Go, which is our mobile application, you can deal with audio, video, content, you can deal with stories, you can deal also with wires, with rundowns, with assignments, you know, planning, it's all there. And note that we are evolving the On The Go. There is a new version that was just released a few days ago on you know, iOS and Android devices. So check it out. There are plenty of good new functionalities into it. So the third topic is really the collaboration topic, and let me run a video about it.
Collaboration is key in a newsroom and at the core of the Galaxy newsroom platform. First of all, a ticker and chat are embedded into the Galaxy clients, allowing editors, producers, and reporters in the field to discuss stories. I can use the chat to discuss with a colleague or a group of colleagues, but I can also link any asset, video, script, rundown, social post or graphics into the discussion. For example, in a breaking news situation, instead of shouting in the newsroom or emailing everyone to go look at a particular video or planning event, with this name in that folder, the ingest manager can simply drag and drop the video into the chat. Our producer would receive a link to the video, and clicking on it will bring us directly to that video, which we can preview and edit. Note that the chat is embedded also in our workspace client, allowing producers to discuss with reporters in the field. A second collaboration tool I would like to highlight is the media bin. Each story or event that we reference in the system automatically have a media bin, where users can collaborate and gather assets relevant for the coverage of that story. For example, at the assignment desk, I can look at my stories in the planning grid, and I can document my events with textual information, of course, but I can also easily put in the media bin of a given event raw materials and archive material, which will help my producers covering the stories. I can also add contact information, for example, a specialist of the topic covered by the story, and also any social post relevant for that story. The media bin will follow the story through its coverage lifecycle. For example, if I now go into the show rundown, as a producer, I can see right away the media bin that the assignment desk has built for me. And I can add more elements to it if needed.
Okay. So
if I were the editor covering that same story, in charge of creating a video package or a voiceover, for example, for my workspace, I would also see that same media bin with all elements gathered by the assignment desk and the producer. I can read and load any of those assets to easily edit my package or my voiceover. As you see, the media bin is a key core concept in our story-centric workflow. It helps everyone in the newsroom to organize content around stories, as well as collaborate in their coverage.
great. So we understand now that chat and media bin are two essential collaboration pieces, and it will help multiple people to collaborate on the same story, and also to enrich the story not only with audio or video content, but all kind of content. Okay. So I would just like to mention that we are also covering, the entire production workflow for digital as well. I'm not going to demo the entire workflow on how you produce for digital content and you publish it, but I'd like to highlight a few things that we call tweet to CG or tweet to timeline. So here I've got I'm monitoring different tweet accounts, and I decided to cover one of the tweets, and automatically in a matter of seconds, I create a graphic object that I can right away, broadcast on television. And I can also, and the tweet is also harvested, so all the metadata and the video content is downloaded. So right away, it's also available for either broadcast on air or editing as well. So this is a kind of great productivity feature that really help your workflow. You don't need to spend like 5 minutes doing this and 10 minutes doing that. It's all done in 20 seconds and all automated in the back office. So that's a great feature. I'd like also to demonstrate in a second, because we are running out of time, but all the AI-based functionalities that we've got. I'll show you 2 of them only. So let me open up it is Chrome. Yeah, I think so. Here we go. I'll take any kind of content. It needs to be, so I'm using web space right now, obviously. I'll take the first video. I'll quickly open it with my transcript editor, and my transcript editor will allow me to, so MediaCortex has processed the file. It has generated a set of captions for me, so I can edit those captions. I can, you know, change the spelling, change the words. I can, you know, it's well rhythmed, you know, so we respect the length, we respect, you know, proper nouns, we don't cut them, we respect speaker changes and so on. We can obviously do some editing work here. We can adjust the position, the timing, and many other features like this. And we've got also a transcription view, which is really interesting because it allows you to, based on the text, feed in the media bin. So you see here a view of the media bin we just talked about. Okay, so this same media bin is also available in the transcript editor. So let's say I have a long 2 hours interview. Rather than watching the entire interview or listening to the entire interview, I can use just the transcript in order to do my shot selection. So very easy, very convenient. Back to the PowerPoint. Just a few points about all of this. The fact that we have a unified news operation means that from your NRCS and NPS, which are actually the same system, you also have access to your archives, all the scripts, all the rundowns, all the EDLs, the projects, Word documents, pictures, stories, rundowns, videos, you name it, okay? It's all there and easily findable. And you can even automate the indexation with Dalet MediaCortex, which is our AI solution. And I would just like to mention that we've got a strong focus on productivity. So we saw a number of productivity tools like the social media harvester, that's one of them. But combined with the workflow engine, you know, you can really increase significantly your productivity. So the BPM offers the BPM workflow engine offers multiple advantages. So you can, first of all, easily connect your external systems, including your in-house system. That's one of them. But you can also automate many of the usual manual tasks, you know, like drag and drops and such kind of things. Okay, and you can put some smart logic into those workflows as well. So this way, you remove a lot of manual operations that sometimes take a few seconds or a few minutes. But when you add all these manual operations, you gain a lot of time. And essentially, you know, BPM workflows bring you also the ability to bring a level of customization at the project level and manage to deliver faster your projects, basically. Your overall TCO, the fact that you've got unified news operations, you obviously decrease the number of integration. You decrease the number of needs for your support contracts, and you also decrease your training needs. So we see that the overall TCO is lower. I'm thinking always of SBS, which is a customer in Australia who went from 14 different systems and 14 different SLAs to just one, which was a Dalet Galaxy system. So they made significant savings this way. Just to mention, this is a really flexible architecture. We support fully cloud workflows or hybrid workflows or on-premise workflows. I'm thinking here of Fox News, who just deployed, you know, Dalet Galaxy to produce their news, but it's mostly in the cloud, which is unique for such a big newsroom. You know, this is pretty new. And just to finish, I believe that Dalet Galaxy is not only a piece of technology with some tools, it's also, you know, an enabler for change and an enabler to put some best practices and all this experience that we have gained from many different projects around the world with a lot of experts that we've got at the project level. So that was my conclusion. Going further, we understand that what I love about Dalet, you know, it's a single newsroom that allows you to produce news content, digital news, current affairs, you know, sports shows, magazines, entertainment, Okay, all kind of things for radio, for TV, for digital, for OTT, you know, it's all there. And there are multiple ways you can consume news software. You can buy either the NPS news production system standalone or the NRCS standalone, or if you unify both, then that's called unified news operation. So it's all in a single system. So obviously we can integrate with third-party NRCSs. Finally, you can also consume Dalet Galaxy X Cloud, which is a SaaS-based news editing solution, okay, that we operate, that we offer as a service as well. And then there are a number of add-ons that you can look at, Dalet Cube for graphics, Dalet One Play for studio automation, Storefront for monetizing your content, and Media Cortex for everything which is AI. And we have some great offering also for news distribution and the logistics that goes around it. Okay, so just to conclude, I guess that in the genes of Dalet, in the DNA of Dalet, we really want to promote, you know, agility and scalability on the one hand, but at the user level, collaboration and mobility. So all the development efforts that we put these days are really focusing on those 4 key aspects.
Thank you, Raoul. That was really interesting. This is not going to take long. I just want to really ask you to go to dalet.com, connect.dalet.com, I'm going to get it right, to check out our upcoming webinars. We have a long series of webinars all through summer, and you can also look at the recordings of all our webinars we have held since March. And you can book a demo about our unified news production or any other of our offerings on this website. I really would recommend it. Otherwise, I wish you all a pleasant day and hope to see you soon.